Hi, and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build model kits and talk about what's going on in the world, chat with y'all. Before we get going, we always do a check-in. We hang out a little bit. We wait for some folks to join us before we get building. I want to give a shout out to Ken for subscribing 2 months, 2 month streak, and also to Dude Wants His Rug, which is 2 months using your Twitch Prime coin. Thank you very much for that. Very much appreciate it. Asmo's in the chat. Asmo, my Patreon $5 and $10 supporters saw the video. Tomorrow, everyone else is going to see the video of the model kit you sent to me. Hi, Dude Wants His Rug. Asmo, thank you so much for buying this kit off my wish list. I'm very excited to build it, and I think that chat in general will be excited about it. No spoilers, unless unless you're a Patreon supporter for the $5 or $10 level, in which case you already saw the video. But everybody else, hi. Thank you, everyone. Reminder: if you use your Twitch Prime coin, like Dude Wants His Rug, you do have to manually renew that. It will expire. It is not a rollover. Like if you used $5 from your credit card or your debit card or something like that, or PayPal, or however else you use it. Thank you very much for that. We are starting a brand new kit. I did start a little bit. I built a little bit of the arms just to kind of get my hands warmed up, because if it's been a couple days since I build, occasionally I want to get my hands a little warm. We're working on the Guncannon. Now we built. Glad it got there. Amazon told me it did, but who knows with the USPS. Indeed, Asmo. Occasionally things just don't show up. Or they're like, this chair, the chair I'm in right now, they were like, it'll be a week, and it was 2 days. So I was like, okay. So this is the Guncannon. Now, folks may remember not too long ago, a couple weeks ago, in fact, we built the Guncannon detector, which was the response to the Guncannon. They built like a thing to help fight against it. We built the detector first, and now it's time to build the Guncannon. This is a 2001 kit, so it is an interesting spot for model kits in the master grade. It looks like a Gundam trying to disguise itself as a different robot. Yes, it's one of those like, well, we need to mass produce this, and we can't mass produce a Gundam, so we'll like make it look like the head, and then like we'll use like some mech parts we got. And then we got all these cannons. We'll throw them on there. I do want to point out, this is not a goof. This is just a thing that they were like, this is a way to stabilize this mech for shooting guns. It's one of the goofiest poses I've ever come across in model kits. Also, you may notice, it's got a core fighter. One of my favorite things. It's not a goof. Hey, Pat. Hi, Lord Grashton. Hi, Lastbrook. No, this is a mobile suit. This is the RX-772. Now, this is a 2001 kit, which means it did not come with any stick. One thing. Okay, so as long as nobody poses behind it, he'll be fine. Thank you, Lord Grashton. You're right. So, it has decals, not stickers. Water decals, which I may put on after the fact. I think I'm going to try to do that. Maybe for a video. Maybe for a closer look video. But I also want to point out, it's got one of my favorite things of this era of master grades, which is the little display shell that just kind of comes with the kit to like protect the lid of it and all the like. We'll go to the overhead because we'll get building in a moment. But it's got this, and I love this so much. Like, there's the box, and then you just put this in here. I love this piece so much, and every master grade should have this. I don't like that they don't. I just think it's so cool looking. And also, if you display your kits and you want to have this like in the kit in front of it, I think that looks really sharp. Anyway, as I said, this 2001 kit. This is the prototype mid-range support mobile suit. So yeah, it's supposed to be mid-range support. It's got some guns on it. It has one of the features of this kit as a model, as a mobile suit, is that it has like in its legs a grenade that it arms in the grenade. Mr. Bob just resubbed. That's 21 months total. Please, let's throw the Bear Cave emote in there. Thank Mr. Bob for that resub. Thank you so much, Mr. Bob. Always appreciate it. Thanks for using your Twitch Prime coin with me. And thanks to everybody who's watching right now. If you came here because on Saturday we had a raid, which was really nice. Jam is here. Hi, Jam. We had a very nice raid on Saturday, and hopefully a few people decided to follow because of that. I will say that when I wasn't looking, sometime between Saturday and today, the channel now has, I should say, over 1,000 followers, which is really rad. I would love if more of those folks watched this live. I would love if more of those folks chose to become a subscriber. That would be great. But I also understand it can't be everybody, and not everyone is able to do that. But for folks that watch live, I really appreciate it. I've said this many times. Lego and Gunpla, the model kit stuff that I do on the stream, I'm so thrilled that it's... Commander Canty just subscribed. Thank you so much. That's 3 months. Let's throw the Bear Cave emote once again. Thank you for renewing. Thank you for continuing to subscribe. Thank you for the 3 months. Like I was saying, first and foremost, I'm thrilled that I do something that folks enjoy. I know people that just have it on the background while they do other things. Folks that do it because they're interested in model kits, or they're interested in anime talk, or they like Twitch but are just kind of tired. Like, they don't always want to watch video game stuff. So thank you. But I have pointed this out before, and I will say it again. One of the reasons why I continue to do this is because 6 hours a week I build model kits on stream, and that is very fucking relaxing for me. And I'm very thrilled to do it. So I look forward to this. This is never a chore. It's never like, oh no, it's 8:30. I'm going to have to stream in half an hour. Never. Occasionally I'm rushed. I'll be honest. Like when I have to like cram in a stream. Not this Thursday, but the next Thursday, I'm covering a shift at work. The place I part-time do tech for. And so I still want to stream on Thursday, and I'm going to stream early. I'm going to stream like 6 to 8. And I'm like, I don't want... That's going to be an annoying night. But the part of the night that isn't annoying is the part where I'm with you. So thank you very much, everybody who's watched. You know, folks that have been, like Mr. Bob has been here for a really long time. Harold, who is going to watch the VOD or the YouTube, but is on vacation right now. Somebody asked me about that. I was like, hey, where's H-Bomb? Because Harold is on vacation. To folks that joined a couple months ago, or Saturday was their first stream, or tonight was their first stream, thank you very much. It generally is very, I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean. I look forward to this, and I enjoy doing it, which is important because I'm still fucking doing it. I will talk about this in the break, but I will say this out now before we get to the building part. Y'all have been very supportive, and I just want to say, because my birthday is on Sunday, so because my birthday is on Sunday, I'm promoting my wish list. I'm going to put it in the chat now. It's in the show description if you watch it on YouTube later. It's in my Twitter. I have a wish list. I build kits off this. This was bought off my wish list. The Guncannon we're about to start working on. I'm putting it in there. If you've ever thought about something that you'd like to see built on the stream, I have the wish list. It's there for me to build. It jumps the line. I got a great kit today from Asmo, which I'm excited to build, and I think y'all like it, and a few other things. I know I have at least one other thing coming from my wish list because it used to be on there and now isn't, so I know someone bought it. I just don't know who. And yeah, add the note if you buy something. Like obviously a lot of it's very expensive things. These are not like cheap purchases, and anyone that buys anything, I totally appreciate, and I'm thrilled. But I totally understand, not everyone can. Hello, Epic Open World. Happy to have you here. All right, let's get to building. I've talked long enough. So we were working on the arms. We did a little bit of the arms here. I did pre-stream. This kit is a 2001 kit, so I I got a big box of builder hands, says Mr. Bob. Uh, so I guess I'm going to be building hands. Okay, that sounds great, Mr. Bob. You have fun building those hands. Um, I'm going to be building some. I'm going to build a gun cannon. Um, so if you look at my wish list, you will see on that wish list there's also the gun tank. So the gun cannon is like the next generation of the gun tank. The gun tank is like barely a mech. It's like half of a mech and half of just like a tank. Like it just showed like they were trying to figure it out, which I really like the idea of. I love the idea of like, you know, being like, we didn't nail it. We tried a bunch of stuff. You know, when we built the ball, people were always just like, is that a mobile suit? And it's like, I mean, it's kind of a mobile. It's not a mobile suit. It's kind of one. But I love that. I do like that a lot. Well, construction equipment. Let's put a gun on it, and then we'll put rockets and a gun on it, and that'll count, right? It's like, I guess. I guess it'll count. We can do all this two at a time, which is really nice because these are symmetrical kits up until the point where up until like one point where we have to like build the hands, basically. But for the most part, we can build all of this at once, which is nice. Gun tank. I think the original magic was they were things that with compact nuclear reactors. Hi, Ultron. Happy to have you here. Yes, that is very fun. You're right, Mr. Bob. And Epic World says gun tank sounds more powerful than gun cannon. You're right, but when you look at it, the gun tank doesn't really have what you would call mobility and looks very silly. Whereas the gun cannon, I get what they're trying to do. I don't know if putting a bunch of missile launchers on the shoulders of a mech is the way to go, but it was fairly effective. I mean, they had to make a gun cannon detector, so. But yeah, the gun tank does not have any very good luck on screen. No, the gun tank is They're trying. They're trying. You know, the gun tank works hard. It's not ready for prime time. Oh, perfect. This red is so lovely. I don't think either the overhead camera does it justice. Yeah, the overhead camera I think does this justice. This is a lovely red color that I am thrilled to be using. The kind of like clear, like glow in the dark white here I think is really nice. This off white, little touches of blue. The other reds, like there's some good color on this kit. The gray I think is great. The gun tank and a ball get in a fight, they both explode. Yes, Logan Payne, indeed. Nobody wins. They have a fight. Nobody wins. Tank gun tank. The original series, it got retconned when they made it into a movie. The MS-8 squad, they just all die so horribly, and the origin 6 years old Char finds a way to kill some. Yeah, like I said, it's iterative. You know, these aren't goofs. You know, they're not nailing it. They're trying. They're just. But in particular, I think the gun tank is so bad. This thing, I think, at least looks cool. I'll give it points for that. But yeah, this is all water decals, water transfer decals. So I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll do it on stream. I think that as we build, I'll get a sense of like how long this kit is going to take to build, and I might have some water ready to kind of do it. That might be Saturday's stream. Part of Saturday's stream could be that, because that is I would count that as my birthday stream. So I might do a little of that on Saturday. All right. Go with the knee. building the arm. Elbow, I should say. I said knee. I meant elbow. That's the elbow. All right, now we just do the same thing on the other side. Nice and easy. I like how it was portrayed in 8th MS as mobile artillery. Yeah, I mean I think that's what these things, are seemingly designed for. Like some of them are anti-air, but like, yeah, there's something to be said for like strength in numbers, having a bunch of big old suits that can still move around and shoot stuff down and have some weapons. It doesn't have any melee, which is a problem. Certainly, that's not a great thing about it. Okay, goes like that. Yeah, did it. And that goes in there. Yeah, all right. But yeah, let's see. I don't have any grand plans for discussion today. I think the anime talk will. There's only my Monday, Saturday to Monday. There's like one show I watch, so I'll probably talk a little bit more about the great Hunter x Hunter rewatch that I'm currently doing, which has been real fun and I've really enjoyed doing so far. Put that aside. But yeah, I don't have any big plans for discussion today. Put a knife under its forearm. That'll fix it. Logan Payne making the great calls. When in doubt, put in a real giant pocket knife. Yep, a cool blade is definitely important. Let's see. This is D, so we need D22. So here's a fun little thing I'll start with for the day. First and foremost, thanks for everybody who's watching. We got a bunch of viewers tonight. Always a pleasure. Monday is kind of sometimes busy, sometimes not. So thanks for joining me. Consider if this is your first time here, give me a follow, turn your notifications on so you know when I'm streaming. But yeah, I worked at this theater that I do a little tech for here and there, very part time. Worked for them last night. We had an issue bringing down the gate, closing up. That was me and the manager, and then another manager was hanging out. So we were all trying and blah, blah, blah. I wake up today, and I go to leave my house to go do some stuff, and I pull out my keys, and I see a key is broken. And I'm like, when the fuck did I break a key? When did I break a key? And then I realize these are not my keys. They're mostly the same. The work ones, the house ones look very similar. These are not my keys. Oh no, I took a set of keys from one of the people that I work with. Turns out it was the guy who was just coming to hang out. He freaked out, didn't know where he had left his keys, assumed he left them in his house and was like tearing his apartment apart. And the whole time I'm thinking like, why didn't you text me or the manager? Why would you assume that you just lost them? What? And so I had to go and hand those off. But like the thing really is like it wasn't that like, oh no, I took someone's keys, which is a mistake clearly on my part. Like that's a fuck up to like take someone's keys. I don't love that I did that. But honestly, the thing that I was like the most weirded out by was the idea that I had accidentally broken a key like in half. Like that's not me. I don't do that shit. And also it was the only color, the key that was the same color as my apartment key. And I was like, did I break the key in my apartment door last night and then not notice, and my roommate didn't notice? I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. It really threw me off. I was very tired when I pulled out that set of keys, so you can forgive me for being a bit confused. But I was totally thrown off. Luckily, everything worked out okay. But you never know. Alright, put that there. Goes like that. And then this goes like this. We're building an arm. All right. Bends and moves. Looks pretty neat. But yeah, that was my like freak out of the day. The rest of the day, pretty easy. Nothing too major. A lot of emails, a lot of text chats. Usual Monday for me. Monday can be pretty laid back these days for this guy. The only other thing I had was I took an update on my laptop. I have an Alienware with Windows 10 on it that's like 5 years old now. I don't use it too much. I mainly use it for like PowerPoint presentations and video stuff. And then I run when I do streams on the road. That is my thing. So it has OBS on it. So I keep it up to date and all that. But I put an update on there, and then like my laptop would be on, and I was like downloading some stuff and doing whatever, and then it would just like error out, just stop working and completely error out, and be like, hey, there was a problem. And I was like, that's not good. So I had to like restore it. And hey, you may have noticed I am not in a position to make a new computer. So I really needed that computer to just fucking work. And it does. Everything seems okay. I used it last night. It was fine. But I was pretty freaked out last night or yesterday about that because it is not under warranty, Logan Payne. It is old enough that it is past its warranty. But it seems to be all right. I put it through its paces last night. It was fine. It hasn't a problem. It was on for like 4 hours without any issues again. I just did a restore point, and then I went and my nightmare is a laptop out of warranty. Yeah, I mean, it's bad. I do have, in emergencies, I also have an iPad mini, which is obviously pretty old, but has served me very well. And I have that for emergency stuff. And then, like, I don't know, I have friends with laptops if I got to borrow a laptop before I go on a trip or something. But, like, since I just crowdfunded to go to PAX, I definitely can't, like, crowdfund a new laptop. Otherwise, it's a fine piece of equipment. And I definitely baby it. I mean, I've been using it lately more than I would like, because of the job I do. For whatever reason, the Mac at my work, the theater that I work at, they have an iMac there. Not they have an iMac. Yeah, they have a laptop. They have a laptop. And it's a fine piece of equipment, except it hates PowerPoint. It just hates PowerPoint. I don't know why, but it does. It doesn't like Google Slides. It doesn't like PowerPoint. It sometimes doesn't like Keynote. Nobody knows why. It just does it. They crash the desktop all the time. It's very weird, and nobody knows why. So I have not wanted to use that because folks in the comedy world like to send PowerPoint presentations very last minute. They love sending very last minute PowerPoint presentations. So I have gotten the habit of just being like, I'm going to need you to... So I've been running stuff off my laptop, basically. Because people love sending last minute PowerPoint or Google Slides at best. If I have time, then I can I can save every slide as an image or recreate it in QLab or anything like that. But most of the time, I'm not getting that lovely time that I would need. All right, so I have to apologize. This is so. The instructions on how this hand goes could be better. But I think I figured it out. Build that now. But yeah, overall, worked out okay. Just check my email here. Oh, thanks for paying my FiOS bill. Oh, Fios. So here's an update, because as people know, throughout the course of 2019, I was having internet problems with Time Warner Cable, and had experts come out and any number of things and all this other stuff, and I ended up going with Fios. On occasionally on a stream, I have dropped frames occasionally, but overall, it is remarkable. It's so fast, up and down. Uh, this is not a hashtag ad. It is legitimately me just being so psyched about Fios. I'm so thrilled to have it. It's going to be a bummer when my contract in 2 years expires and they suddenly charge me a lot more, because clearly they got me on a good deal. But I'll still happily pay in the future, because it has been just unbelievably fast and dependable. Um, do 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 do. All right. And also, the router has its own wireless, so I was able to take the wireless router that I had, and I'm giving it to my folks, which will be a great upgrade for them. So everybody wins. So my mom can read on her Kindle in the bedroom, even though the modem is in the living room, which is basically all it is. That's all they use it for. Uh, how's the build going so far? Asked Andy. Andy, it's going well. I mean, this is the first night of working on this kit. We finished an arm. It is a master grade, so in the 1/100 scale, so it is, it's got some heft to it. And it is a big kit, but also it is a kit from 2001, so it's not like there. It isn't super challenging. That, like I said, the how the fingers attached, like the photo, isn't great. Honestly, that's going to be the hardest thing, right? Is as the years went on, um, uh, the instructions in Gunpla, I should say, got way better. For as an English speaker, I should say, but just more detailed in general, much more English in them. And some of the older kits don't have that, which makes sense. It always makes sense, I'm always just like, yeah. I don't know if in 2001 they thought they had a big export market going, even if Gundam Wing did very well. Old Gunpla is rough in so many ways. I mean, Mr. Bob, you were watching. Many folks in the chat were watching when I worked on the Char Zaku Perfect Grade from 1999, and like that kit, I literally had photos of pieces I needed for that kit and screws and everything, because that instruction booklet was not helpful. That I had like reference photos, which I've never used before, and knock on, I don't have any wood around here. Knock on plastic. It will, a plastic thing right there. I will never need reference photos again to build a model kit. But yeah, that kit I was definitely nervous about. And then yeah, some of it's structurally, but even now, like the kit we just worked on, that Ultron kit, like the waist doesn't want to stay together. It's not great. I would never display that without without a base. Like there's no way it's going to stand up on its own. It's very annoying. All right. But yeah, I mean, I think you're totally right that old Gunpla is definitely troublesome. So we're going to go with the hands so that you can hold weapons. There is the open palm version that we could build as well, but we'll save that and probably build that later. We could swap those hands out if we wanted to. But I like having the ones that can hold weapons, because I usually by this point in the kit building process, I haven't decided, what hand is going to hold what. So it's always nice to be able to work on that, figure that out later. Let's see. I haven't thought of anything special like doing this special stream on Saturday for my birthday, anything like that. I think I'm just going to keep building kits as we build them. I thought maybe I would build, like, the only thing I could think of is I still have the 100 scale high grade of the Sandrock Gundam to build, because that is the last of the Gundam wing kits we haven't built yet. So I was like, oh, I guess I could build that. But then I would have to build the Sandrock, which is my least favorite Gundam from Gundam Wing. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. We'll get to that someday. It's the 1/100 scale high grade Endless Waltz version. It does have a cape, so it's not bad because it has the cape. But it's also not great because I just don't think it's a great kit. So it's just not an exciting model kit. Oh. And the 1/100 from Gundam Wing are good. They're good kits. They're not. There's nothing wrong with them. I've just built so many of them over the years. I've got stuff I'm excited about. The kit I'm building next, which is Dragon Ball Z kit. Very excited about that. I think I'll be building that next. We'll see. But yeah, I've got other things on the pipeline I'm excited to build. So. Okay, we go here. There's a new 144 Sandrock coming out. I saw that. Yeah. It does. Yeah. I'm gonna look. Let me see if I can look at photos of that. I want to see. Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and it's like, okay. Like, okay. You know, like I said, if I liked that kit more, then I would be like, heck yeah. I'd much rather have, like, you know what? Well, I've said this. What I want is, I want the Death Scythe Hell, not the custom, the Hell. I want that in Master Grade. I want a Master Grade of that. I want a perfect grade of the Death Scythe. I know I'm not getting that anytime soon, but I want the perfect grade of the Death Scythe, clearly. And then the Epion Death Scythe will be pretty great. Or Epion perfect grade will be great, but I know I'm not getting that. Yeah. I mean, like, it's got the cape. Cape is good. Like I said, a cape on a mech is a great thing. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I do like the shiny ones and the see-through. Probably at New York Comic Con time, I'll probably buy another one of those. I can't remember what the name of his People Mobile Suits was that was cool to have a modern pairing. Oh yeah. Hello, Urban Buddha. Happy to have you here. Thanks for popping into the old chat. Welcome, welcome. All right. So, all right, great. We now have 2 arms done. 2 arms are done. We are ready to move on with our kit. It's time to start working on the body. That's right. We start with the arms, now we're working on the body. Nice and easy. Nothing weird about this one. Starting with the feet, basically. We can build this 2 at a time because the feet are also symmetrical. Yes. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of that coming out, Logan. And some of it looks really good. I mean, we did the version Ka, the see-through before, which I got at New York Comic Con, and I really enjoyed doing that. I think see-through and clear don't work great on a live streaming format. I don't think they looked great, but the process of doing it, I was really interested in. I don't know if I would necessarily do that. Also, like I like buying new kits. I like buying kits at conventions, but we'll see. I'm not going to San Diego this year, so I think New York Comic Con is my best bet. I mean, I look at PAX, but PAX isn't known for having model kits or Lego sets or anything like that. Occasionally they'll have something really weird, but rarely do they have what I'm looking for. Which makes sense. It's not what people are there for. Um, but I, try to. But yeah, I think New York Comic Con, I'll keep my eyes peeled for something that I can buy in person and then build on the stream, which would be cool. Yeah, I have no definitive plans to do stuff there at New York. I'd like to do something, but I don't have anything set. Right now, it's mostly like I'm going. Lashbrook says sorry. I don't know what you're sorry about, Lashbrook. But yeah, I know that I can go to New York Comic Con with a pass and go and see stuff, and that'll be cool. But hopefully, I'll have something else. I was wrong. It's close to $450. Oh, it's P Bandai. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of kits, and it's a lot of money. I need to check out those baseball themed kits that got announced. I kind of forgot about them. Yeah, Ultron. I saw some photos of those on Twitter, and they looked very cool. I'm also like, I like the 7-Eleven ones. I think those are neat. Like they're not something I would ever like go out of my way to get, but yes, the Maganak body, a set of 36, so you can have a whole army. No thanks. It's complete nonsense and great, but who needs that? I guess some people need that. But you can augment it with different weapons and stuff, but that's just nonsense. Yeah, it's a lot, but no thanks. I bait. Yeah, I mean, like, there's a new Gundam Death figure coming to the new figure. Uh, Totally. Harold is hosting. Thank you, Harold. Hi, Harold. Hope Canada is agreeable with you. Thank you for the host. As always, thank you for your continued support. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, Harold. If you're watching it live, or if you just got into Twitch and entered the hosting code. Either way, thank you very much. Yeah, I saw that Death Scythe figure. I'm not much of an action figure person. If I can't build it, I don't really take a look at it. I would love a re-release of any of the Death Scythes in a modern kit, but I understand. Mr. Bow says I made a thing and puts a link there. Oh, and you sent it to me. Great. That is definitely a thing, Mr. Bob. That's very cool. I will retweet that once the stream is done. That is a wonderful, weird thing. Thank you for sending it to me. Yeah, folks, if you build anything, you can always, post it in the Discord, but also you can just send it to me. You can send me a tweet. I love seeing what people are working on. It is very fun for me. The figures help me out as someone who can't make kits to save my life, says Logan. I get that. Totally get that. It took a few months of trying to find builder parts to do this. Mr. Bob, that's a wonderful kit. It's a wonderful kit bash. Good job. Yeah, people ask that now and again. Folks are like, oh, do you think you're going to try doing some kit bash stuff? Do you have any interest in doing those things? And it's like, I mean, kind of, but the takeaway is I'm cool with builder parts. Yeah. I've always thought of like, oh, I have a few kits and some extra parts, lying around. Uh, but it's not something that I have a lot of experience with, so I've never really gotten too deep into it. Harold just cheered 25. Greetings from Vancouver. Thank you, Harold. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave emote and the Lego emote and the Death Scythe emote out there. Thank you very much for your continued support, Harold, and the bits. A reminder, until June 30th, you donate 200 bits and coins at a time. It's an ultra cheer, and you are supporting the Trevor Project. And you get some Pride emotes, which are fun. And then also, random other people in chat get Pride emotes. They get the same Pride emote. Like, a couple people get that emote too, which is very cool. But yeah, thank you very much for that, Harold. Appreciate it. Keep your lead over Ultron there. Bits and coins, always appreciated. And subscriptions and telling friends and hey, just watching. Chatting's always nice. Watching's great. Get a good crowd tonight. Always nice. What I need to get in the habit of doing, which I haven't done, is I need to get in the habit of starting the stream and making sure that it's working and I'm not dropping frames, and then walking away for a while and then coming back and starting. Because what ends up happening is I start the stream, I load everything up, I double check things, and then I just kind of hang out. Ultron just cheered 69 bits, pushing him up over Harold. Nice, Ultron, nice. No need to fight, but also nice, and thank you, of course. What I don't do is walk away. What I do is look to see if a few people are watching before I start. Always wondering, is this the stream where no one watches? And I need to stop doing that shit because it's not healthy. And also, there are people watching. And if there aren't, they're coming. And if they don't, okay. I get that. I would never want to cancel a stream because no one is watching. I've certainly done, my game streams for a small audience, and I understand that. Harold just cheered 96, which is nice backwards. And then Ultron says, oh, snap. The war continues. And once again, there is no need to do this. But also, I very much appreciate it. But I got flipped and reversed. Yes. Turned upside down, Ultron. It did take me a second to go that's backwards. Oh, that's what you're writing. You wrote it backwards. All right, we're working on our feet here. These are big old feet, which makes sense because this is try to be stable of a kit. They're trying to make this gun plus stable, so it makes sense that they would make big solid feet. Also, 2001, they're not spending a lot of time on the kits, adding a lot of detail to the legs. Arms would always get some. To me, 2000. The late 90s, early 2000 model kit era, I should say, in my opinion, is very focused on doing a lot of detail on the chest pieces, and if there's transformations or a core fighter, they spend a lot of time on that. They are nicer bits because they're Canadian. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for the nice bits. But yeah, it feels like they weren't worried. Basically, they were like, well, do the legs support? Do they stand up? Can the kit, hold its own? All right, then we're good. Which is, you maybe want a little bit more from your kits, but it's not the end of the world if they're not perfect. I'm going to take a drink of water here. Time for a little bit of water. Last night on Twitter, I wrote that if you talk about anime in your stand-up set, I will talk to you about anime after the show. That's the rule. And that is from real life experience. There's a comedian at the theater I'm working at who's there quite often that has a joke, and it's like meant to be it's meant to be like like a put down for himself, like self-deprecating joke or whatever. But it referenced like anime and then a couple specifics, and then so yesterday, actually before the show started, I was like, Ian, at some point we're gonna have to talk about anime, and he was like, well, I have time now, let's do it. So that was very nice. But it's also true. It's like, hey, if you mention an interest and the joke isn't those people like that suck, then we're great. I don't think they had standardized stands yet in the 90s. Some of these kids can't stand up while posed. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Bob. That is also. I've definitely run into a few kids that I'm like, there's no posing for this. The pose is battle damage, I guess. Um, Harold says, did you know Canadian subways don't have provolone, pepper jack, or oil and vinegar? Now, I can maybe understand the cheese. I'm surprised they don't have oil and vinegar. That's actually very surprising. We were little disappointed. Yeah. And then there might be some thought there, but I'm going to say this, like, hey, when you've traveled a lot, when you traveled a bit, sometimes you just want a little taste of home. And also, if you've been traveling a lot, sometimes you're like, I want a place where it is not a lot of money to eat. I could go to this sandwich place, or I can go to this Subway sandwich place. Totally understand. Been there. Done the whole thing. Now, this doesn't tell me to do this twice, which is weird. I've been saying to do things twice the whole time. Oh, I guess this is all. Yeah, no, step 12. Huh. Let me see if they have me do it on the other leg again. Yeah, they do. Okay. So I'll do this solo. Even though some of the next steps are twice, I guess the way it's pointing, they want it to be solo, or just do one leg at a time. All right, so we're going to do one leg at a time then. Oh, we need 27 and 26. Subway is hard to fuck up. Yeah, it can be. It can be pretty hard to fuck up. The only bad Subway I had was their meatballs were too hot, and I did not have a lot of time to eat the sub, says Mr. Bob. Yeah, I think I mean, I'll say this: the Subway that is outside the convention center in Seattle, the Seattle Convention Center, Washington State Convention Center, the one that's outside that is often open kind of late, was a lifesaver for me this past PAX West because I was tabling, and then all my panels were at night, and I would leave, and I was staying in a residential area, but I was taking a bus to the residential area, so I wouldn't have time to. I would like get on the bus right near there, which was great, and get dropped off right where I was staying, which was great. But it did mean that like I would get to where I needed to go, and then nothing would be open. So that Subway really saved me. Just like, oh, I got something I can eat when I get back to the Airbnb. Now I'm going to stay this year. I'm going to stay in more of it's a walking distance from the convention center, so I should be able to stop. They default include lemon in the iced tea in Canada. Okay. Fun fact from Lashbrook. I have never been to Canada. As far as never been. I had to think about it. But yeah, never been to Canada. Never been to Canada or Mexico. I have been to a few countries outside of these United States, but I have not been to Canada, and I'd like to go someday. Have a good reason to go. Poutine is good. It certainly is. Convention center with food nearby that is open late. Looking at you, PAX East. Yeah, I mean, oh, Mr. Bob, that's such a bummer. That location is a great place for a convention center, but it is not near anything. But since I've been going to PAX East, when they opened that Shake Shack has been incredible. And that Jimmy John's, what I end up doing is sometimes I will go in the late afternoon to that Jimmy John's that is near the convention center uh, both at PAX East and at PAX West. The one near PAX East, I've gone there to get food to eat later. Mr. Bob says, I'm a first name basis with the legal seafood test kitchen staff now. Yeah, I've certainly done that when I've had time. Or when I've been with people that are like, yeah, let's go there. I'm like, okay. Okay. And then, of course, the PAX Unplugged, you just go to the Wawa because there's a Wawa. And I went to the Wawa quite a bit. Ultron says, these prices for the baseball kits are not cool. And you said, well, Mr. Bob, not Mr. Bob, sorry. Ultron, you sent me a eBay link. So, yes, these prices are not cool on eBay. Yeah, the cheapest one looks to be $90. And some of them are like $200. One of them is $108 and it's listed as pre-owned. So, and of course all of them are coming from Japan. It looks rad as hell. The Tigers version, so it's a Zaku 2 that's yellow. It looks great. But yeah. Yeah, I would say probably not look at eBay. Sometimes that is market price, but you never know. Yeah, the PAX East is always tough. The last couple of years I've stayed at places that were near 7-Elevens, and that was saving grace, was just to be able to get like a few things here and there when you just really need something, and you're okay with it being whatever the fuck you can get. Also, I have a little more help at PAX East in the form of Ben Trites, Aaron Trites' brother, and a few other people willing to go and like, hey, we're coming, we'll bring you food. And I'd be like, yes, please do that. Please bring me food. That's incredibly helpful. All right, so we're working on the legs here, and wait, where'd it go? Oh, it's already in there. Duh. I was like, where did this piece go that I'm looking for? As always, you do it on one side. It takes a little while to figure out the trick of it, and then when you're building the other one, it's a lot faster. It is on a Japanese website, only an in-store type of deal. I don't know. I don't know what the baseball ones were. I don't know what their deal was. I haven't really looked into it. But it's they're cool looking kits. Yeah, it could be like you only get them at games or whatever. It could be one of those deals. Okay, so it goes like that. Yeah, it goes like that. And then this goes. Nope. Doing this wrong. Sorry about that, folks. Every once in a while, I just have to slow down for a second, take a look at what I'm doing, realize I'm doing it wrong, and then hopefully nail it the second time. Whoops. As I just knock over a piece to the floor. A Gundam and Zaku for each team. Oh, okay. Exclusive thing you get at games. Yeah. That makes sense why the secondary market would be so pricey, but hopefully there is some other way of getting them that isn't eBay. Because those are very expensive. Alright. Take my tweezers out here. We will take our break, our pause for the cause, where I'll talk about ways you can support the stream in a moment or two. I'm going to try to nudge this piece where it needs to go. I think I have to Separate this out here. All right. Try that. Try it on that side. Here. Just a few little pieces that really need to be able to interlock. And it's a little odd the way these connect, so. There we go. Did it. Got the piece I needed there that has some motion to it. This piece. All connected. Hooray. Hooray and hoorah and all that. Moving on. We'll get a little bit farther in on working on our leg here, and then we will take our pause for the cause. And say, plug a few things, talk about a few things that are coming up. I ordered the Obi-Wan Kenobi Doolittle bobblehead yesterday from Saturday's Nationals game, and it was pricey. Yeah, Asmo, that sounds like it. They didn't make a lot of them because it seems like it would have. This is me saying, like, not a huge amount of folks that are like really going for it. Maybe there are a ton of people that are like, this is all I've ever wanted, but that feels a little niche to me. Maybe I'm wrong. It's a funny idea, but I'm sure it was pricey. All right. And we will just do this other piece here. We need D8. Just this one here. Just working on our legs here for our Guncannon, which, as I've said, is just a very good name. And then 11, because we're doing this 2 at a time. All right. I think they handed out like 2,500 to the first fans. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, you're at the baseball game. Like, I feel like you're probably not like, no, I don't want this. But for me, I'm like, what are you talking about? But if I was at Saturday's national game, I guess I would know what this was. And I would be like, oh, fuck yeah. Let's do this thing. Instead of what I am, which is, oh, okay. Cool. Enjoy it. Have fun. All right, we'll do this here. Put this here. Okay, with this. And that. Yeah, all right. D5 and D4. As I finish this segment here, first and foremost, thanks for watching, everybody. We're not done. We're going for another hour, but this is the mid break that I do once a stream, about halfway through. I take an opportunity to thank everybody for watching. If you are just watching because you follow me on Twitter or a friend told you about it or whatever, consider me giving me a follow and turn your notifications on so you know when I'm going live. I stream Mondays and Thursdays and Saturdays from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. This Wednesday I'm doing a bonus stream. So my bonus streams are always game related. In addition to me doing model kit building, usually about once a week do another stream. And this week I am going to be doing Twitch Sings on Wednesday. So that should be very fun. So please come to that stream. That's what time did I say I was going to do that? I don't remember, and I'm looking it up because it's my pinned tweet, which is helpful for me. Uh, so yeah, 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's on Wednesday. Bits and coins, as I said, always appreciate it. If you've ever considered becoming a subscriber, now would be a great time to do that. $5 or free if you link your Amazon Prime with your Twitch. You get Twitch Prime. You get a bunch of other things for free along with that, games, and I think there's a free month of Crunchyroll right now for Twitch Prime subscribers, so that's totally worth doing. Um, I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBaer. That's a great way to support if you just rather have a Twitch account or you don't want to use Twitch going with me. Uh, Patreon, there's a bunch of tiers, a bunch of rewards. Take a look at that if you'd like. It would be awesome. As always, I love seeing the numbers go up. If that's the numbers from Twitch, if that's the numbers from uh, Patreon, if that's the numbers from Coffee. And then any money I make, I have a Coffee, I'll put that in there, on streams. Any money that I receive through Twitch, YouTube video ad stuff, which is, nothing really. Bits and coins on Twitch, Patreon, Coffee, all that goes to buying kits and equipment. It all goes into a fund, and then I buy kits in there. Harold says, I'll try to catch you on Wednesday depending on when we get home. Harold, if you can, that would be great. Certainly, you're coming back from vacation, so, no stress there. I think it'll be fun. I haven't taken a look at Twitch things in a bit. I have to go in there and, find some new songs to sing, and I think that'll be fun. I always enjoy doing that stream. And I also have an Amazon wish list. I mentioned at the top of the stream. I'll mention it now. My birthday is this Sunday, so a great birthday present would be to buy something off my wish list. I'll take a look at it now, highlight a couple things that I think are neat that I would like to build on the stream. I've got a few master grades up there that look very cool. Lots of cool weapons. That Blitz Gundam is just evil looking. I don't know. Some Lego sets I think are fun. Some papercraft kits. I would love to do another Ghibli papercraft. I had a lot of fun with the first one. That cat bus on a house looks really neat. I would definitely want to do that. And Kiki, I think it's great with the old dog. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Yeah, just a lot of things. Lots of different kits that I would be interested in building. The gun tank. Go back in time even further. Whole lots of stuff that would be interesting to build on stream. And also, just tell a friend. If you don't have the money for it, watching here is great. I plan on doing an all Disney Twitch thing stream soon. That's a fun idea, Harold. I like that. A themed one is a fun one. I have a Discord. You can join the Discord. It's the Build With Our Community Discord. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, all of this is in the show description. And also, hi, thanks for watching on YouTube. Join my Discord. I'm hosting an improv show tomorrow called Air Punch. If you're in the New York area, I'm hosting a show. I'm going to do a fun PowerPoint presentation. A TED Talk, but funny, because it's Pride Month, so I'm going to do a thing on Pride. And then I am comedy wrestling, legitimately comedy wrestling, in a show on Wednesday called UCBW Finalmageddon. It is what we believe to be the very last UCBW show. It is a show that I helped found. It brought me to the dance, I like to say. Working on that show, honing my craft there, getting good at writing comedy wrestling matches and organizing a league made it very clear that I was in the right position to be able to help Aaron and Pope with League of Heels when I stepped in to help out with that. So UCBW means a lot to me. It's where I made my longest friends in New York, and I love that show. And it looks like I had stepped away from it to focus on streaming, and it was just because it was just a lot. But I'm coming back. I will be making at least. I am scheduled to make one appearance, and we'll see if we do anything more. Hi, Isabella. Welcome to the stream. We're about to get back into the building, so we can get into that now. We finished up with all that. I'm going to drink a little water. Now's a great time for everybody to drink a little bit of water, if you got that. Stay hydrated. enjoy yourselves. We are working on our Guncannon. We will continue to work on that. Um, basically, we are just about ready to start putting this leg together. There, and then we can add in a little bit of flair for it, a little bit of armor. Of course, it's going to eventually have to get all the red armor around it as well. But right now, it can be just a little bit here and there. And it looks like some of this is movable, which is nice. Lock these in place. So that goes there. Ah, I see now. Okay. There, and that locks in there, and then it moves. Check that out. I can get a little closer. It's like joints that move around. Good old UC079. Indeed. Yeah, this Guncannon. I as I've said, I am a sucker for model kits that have big weapons. I love that, and also these kind of like transitionary model kits that are just they're like figuring it out. They're like, this isn't a Gundam, but like that's pretty good. It gets the job done. It does what we need to do. I am a sucker for that. The piece came out, so put that there. Mr. Pob says, I think my neighbor is tilling his field at 10 p.m. Mr. Bob, that is easy. I'm going to say this right now. 10 p.m. on a Monday, it's too late to be working in the field. I think that your neighbor is burying something. And that's ominous. And I don't like it. But if I was going to be in a field at 10 p.m. on a Monday, I feel like I would be in there disposing of things. So, uh-oh. That's not good, Mr. Bob. But it generally is late, and that's weird. It's just late to do stuff like that. Even if I am being a little facetious. The apartment building next to me, they had like raised the house, and then they're slowly building this apartment complex. And they stopped working on it for a really long time, and then every time they would start again, it always would really tick me off because it would be seemingly out of nowhere. Also, things one would find suspicious is the T owning a field. Well, the T, you know, I'm also, if someone's like, oh, let's go back to the house I own, I would be like, wait, what? I had a friend who owned his apartment, not the apartment building. He owned the apartment, like the building itself. Like it wasn't a renter. He owned it. And I was like, I don't understand what you mean. He's like, yeah, I took the money I made from this thing and invested in this apartment, and I own it. And I'm like, what? 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 I don't understand. What are you talking about? Or like when I found out that the landlord of the brown house I was looking at, the first place I lived in New Jersey, even before I lived in New York, I lived in New Jersey. In Jersey City, that the owner of the brownstone lived in the apartment and like owned a couple of apartments, and lived in one of the rooms, and it was someone who had modeled. She had modeled as a late teen and made a lot of money in modeling, and then invested that money in like brownstones, which is incredible and so smart, but also. That first apartment I lived in, I was like 21, 20. And so the idea of anyone owning anything was incredibly remarkable to me. It's like, what are you fucking talking about? How are you my landlord? Urban Buddha says, I know a dude who bought an apartment in Brooklyn just before it blew up, and he pays almost nothing in his mortgage. Dude's pretty... Yeah. I mean, yeah, it happens. My friend Mark owns a brownstone in a very nice part of Brooklyn that was still nice when he bought it, but now is incredible. Why is this getting this armor on here is being annoying? I think I might have to put the other side on first. I'm not sure why this is being annoying. Maybe I can do it if I do it like this, but I'm not sure why this is being so annoying. Try it out. Um, oh, I think your folks will appreciate this. This audience might appreciate this more than anyone I've ever talked to. So my friend Mark, um, he was in. He's now in a bunch of other things, but he he owned. He worked as a small time manager for musicians, and basically his job was he worked at a small record label, and the idea was to get the bands big enough that their contracts would be sold out to a bigger part of this corporation, like a larger subsidiary, and then he would make a tidy profit on selling the contract to a bigger record label. So he did that, and he was okay. Sometimes it didn't pan out. Contracts end. They make a little money. The band gets famous on their own somehow, or does something else, and then the records they helped work on, get sold, and they make a little bit of money here and there. Epitaph still makes some money off of The Offspring being hugely popular. They didn't necessarily do a lot of work for The Offspring to become hugely popular, but they released some records. So that's what my friend did. He was good at it. By all accounts, he was doing a good job, and people like working with him. So he comes across this band, and they're like metal-ish, but they're like the kind of metal. They're the kind of metal where you're like, oh, y'all like Lord of the Rings, and this is early 2000s, so a little early for that, but like, oh, y'all are nerds. And they're like, yeah. And so my buddy Mark gets the bright idea that they should play to the audience they want to play for, which is a D&D convention. And they start playing like they like hire some live like traditional musicians. They play Ren fairs and play like traditional stuff, and then like metal versions like at bars after, and like kind of hit this like very small circuit, and they develop a fan base by like people who are like so excited about this band. Well, not while D&D was playing, but at like conventions, like at a convention where people are going to buy stuff, and people are playing Masquerade and other tabletop stuff of that ilk, like LARPers. At night, you would go and see concerts with this band. And the band built a following. And then the company that my buddy Mark worked for, like sold their contract to Marilyn Manson's record label, because they were like one of the record label he owns, because they were bigger. They'd outgrown this label. And then Mark took the money he had made doing that sale of that contract, like his cut, and then got a down payment on a house in Brooklyn. Which I've always like, it's always one of my favorite things of just being like, yep, all right, good job, Mark. Now it's like, you saw Porno Graffiti at Anime Expo one year, and they're really great. Yeah, I mean, it's the same way of like, bands that play PAX, right? Now, they're not doing it because their record labels suggest that's a good thing to do. They're even more underground in it. But like, finding that audience that doesn't know they're going to be psyched about you is like really like an important thing. And especially in the 2000s, I think like I know he toured around a little bit doing talks for like biz dev music label stuff of like, here's here's what I did, and here's why it worked, and here's how it's possibly not like repeatable, or the lessons I've learned. Uh, it's like a good thing. Um, but like I love that. I've always loved that so much. I think like it's like especially it is acknowledging. And Mark, the reason Mark and I are friends is because we were in the same World of Warcraft guild. So Mark understood. He was like, "This isn't necessarily my thing, but the fantasy stuff, like, I totally get where you're coming from." Like, he totally understood the love that these guys had for the kind of music that they were making and the interest that they had as a group. Like, Mark got it. But that's always been a fun thing. I've always looked at that and really appreciate it, is when people are like, "Oh, I have this passion. I wonder if people would be into what we're doing." And they have been able to find, I think, pretty substantially, that if you can find that audience is very excited. People like being pandered to. It is pretty universally recognized that if it comes from a good place, if it comes from a clearly like like definitely fake faux position, we can smell it. Any type of subculture like this can totally smell it when you're being inauthentic. But when they're like authentic, it's just like, here you go. Yep, okay. Where do you perform? When do you perform? What do you have? What can I buy? Bandland at PAX started because, well, one, it was like, hey, this is a make good, but mostly it was because the performers that were coming to perform were like, we need a place to sell merch, because apparently a very good percentage of folks want to buy our merch, and so we need a place for it. And it was just like, yeah, I guess you're right. I guess we got to do that. Which feels like a no-brainer, but is like a part of it. It's part of the business. Is recognizing that people like want to support you if they like what you're doing, if you come from a good place, and they can feel the love you have for the thing. Like, in general, not everyone obviously, but in general, people are like, "Oh, is this the thing?" Yeah. Like, I always talk about that. I had never heard of Proto Men. I'd never heard of them. I didn't see them listed because I wasn't interested in concerts at PAX East when I first started going to PAX East. Wasn't interested in the concert scene at all. Had no clue who they were. I'm walking by the jam space, which is like a bunch of smaller groups that play and like community-driven stuff, and then like there's usually a set like throughout each of the bands, like does like a quote-unquote secret set. And I was just walking by, and the door opened for the jam space, and I'm just hearing like this loud cover of Total Eclipse of the Heart, and I see like all these dudes in like makeup and like a biker helmet and like a full like, and I'm like, what is this? And just like what is this thing? I bought a shirt immediately. It was just like, here's money. Oh, you do Mega Man themed rock operas? Yeah, here, great. Let me buy your USB of all your songs. Like, instantly. It was just like, I'm so happy you exist, and I'm so glad I just found out about this. Like, I am kind of mad I didn't know before. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way when suddenly you're just like, wait, this is the thing? And that's the thing I hear. The T says, I saw Proto Men at MagFest one year where they did a tribute to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance from Back to the Future. They're a fun band. Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Born and raised, most of them. And then also Denton, Texas. There's a couple of them are from Denton. And I only know that because, weirdly enough, various members of Proto Men went to high school with friends of mine. Like, different members of the band like went to high school with different friends of mine. It was very very strange small world. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think like I've always appreciated that. We hear that about League of Heels, being in Bandland is introduced to a lot of people that like don't know Giant Bomb folks, don't know, uh, the game devs that come through. Uh, uh, Urban Buddha just typed no really loud, and I don't know why. Um, but there are folks that are like, wait, this is the thing I would be into. Why did I know about this already? Um, but yeah, Urban Buddha, I don't know why you typed no real loud there. I hope everything's okay. Let's see. Uh, Going here. D. There. Never been to the concerts at PAX East. The only PAX concerts I went to were at PAX South 2016. South is so much lighter. Proto Men are cool. Also, Double Clicks and Paul and Storm. Indeed. Paul and Storm are there. There was a period there where Paul and Storm were not writing new music, and so it is really hard to. There was a period there where it was very hard. Like I was just like, oh, all right, well, I'm not gonna go back and see them again. I saw, yeah, MC Frontalot. Yeah, I think Frontalot's great. Giant Bomb panel filled up before I could get in, so I saw the Proto Men instead. Says the T. Yeah. Um, I've seen a few folks in concert. One of my favorite moments was I went one night and well, I wasn't really watching panels. I went one night and saw it was a group that just does metal versions of Castlevania songs. Um, and they it was at PAX East, and they go, "Here's a new song that we're debuting here for the first time at PAX East." And people cheered, and they hadn't started. They were just about to start when someone goes, the cheers die down, and someone just goes, "Is it from Castlevania?" And it was just the fuck, like, it just was such a fucking funny question to yell. Such a jerk asshole question. Because that's all they played was metal versions of Castlevania songs. Oh, I think about that every now and again. It was perfect too, because it was like, oh, Urban Buddha says, refresh the stream, and there you are. Oh, okay. You lost me there. Oh, that's why you said no. Weird. Okay. Well, sorry that got weird for you. I think I made a joke like that once, and someone standing next to me didn't get the joke and tried to explain it to me. Yeah, yeah. People were like, "We cover songs for Metal Gear." I had heard of the Proto Men before I saw them because "Light Up the Night" was in Rock Band 4. It was, yes. It's like that is a fun Rock Band song. Well, I'm glad you're back, Urban Buddha. Yeah, like I said, I went to concerts. I didn't go. I didn't see that many. I saw a couple years of PAX East. Now I just have night panels that I go to, so I don't normally see them. Because I have stuff. I have lots of stuff to do, and I'm usually in at least one of them. At least one night. If there's multiple nights of concerts, I'm in them. So, or when there are multiple nights of concerts, like I'm usually in a panel a night. Not that I'm in the concerts. You know what I meant. Oh, okay. So it's we're in the second half. We got about half an hour left of the stream. Real quick. Not a lot to talk about anime. Yatogame-chan. Not my favorite episode. This one. Apparently, Nagato is hot. That's the gist of this. If you haven't watched the show, it's a very cute little anime. 3.5-minute episodes. You could breeze through them. This one, like I said, just not particularly great. It was okay. It just wasn't great. I've liked this series quite a bit, though, so I look forward to to next week. I think like next week will be the last one. I think 'cause this was probably the 11th one or the 10th one, but it was pretty good. Uh, yeah, I haven't watched any Gundam Origin yet, Urban Buddha. I've been meaning to, I just haven't. And you're watching Demon Slayer, which yeah, I like, but I don't love. I've got it. See, the thing is, usually it's like Thursday is a great day because Thursday there's 5 shows that come out on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that I watch. So I'll have more to say there. And then I'm doing my Hunter x Hunter rewatch. My big takeaway of Hunter is that the 2011 version still holds up. It's still great, and also uh, once the what did I say? Once the Hunter exams are over, like the next mini arc there isn't necessarily great, but then it picks right up and is awesome. So I'm at the point now where I'm like, oh, that's right. I don't really like these episodes, but I will soon. Urban also says, also Shield Hero. Yeah, the Rising of the Shield Hero. I am wondering. I've got so many questions. It's this weird thing where like it happens when they do double seasons, right? So there's going to be 25 episodes, but like Urban Buddha, the big thing happened. Like the end of this, like not the series, but like the end of this season, like big thing kind of happens, and now it's like, and then we go to this place and do this thing, and like, I guess they're setting up for what the next season will be, but it feels very disjointed, because it feels like, well, him clearing his name and like being at least moderately respected within the country that he's fighting for feels kind of like the end of the season. And then they're like, now go to this island and level up. Yeah, it's like extra bonus episodes. Like I assume that they won't complete the thing that's happening right now that they're setting up for. But it is weird. It's the same way that that time I got reincarnated as a slime, which is still my favorite show of the year. That did its first like arc, and then it was like, and now this thing, and then it had like weird, and then it had a flashback recap episode. It was very strange, but it had a whole like mini story that I was like, this didn't need to be part of season 1. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's setting something up. Urban Buddha, my assumption is that this whole like, here's an island where you can level up is some sort of trick because they knew the wave was coming, but they didn't have heroes. And because, let's be real, Urban Buddha. I say Urban Buddha because I know that they're watching the show, and I don't think anyone else is. That guy that got introduced as like the governor or whatever the island is clearly a villain, and it's just telegraphed like that's a bad guy. Like that guy doesn't look cool or chill at all. Like that guy looks like an asshole. So I assume there's some sort of big thing happening. All right, we finished our legs. I guess we're moving on now to the body. We'll start getting this body together. This is a nice flow to this kit. It's moving pretty good. Yeah, I mean that's one thing. And the reason why the adventurers who are like, we're not going to hang out with you tomorrow, is because they know it's coming and they're going to hightail it out of there. And I wonder what other adventurers are going to. That's my thought. Is that's why they're like suddenly like, let's not hang out. Is because they are like, we got to get out of here. I don't know. That's my guess. But we'll find out very soon. They introduced new heroes that aren't the 4 heroes. Yeah, I mean, Urban, it's like that thing of like, oh yeah, these are probably these adventurers are there for some other reason. Well, so the story is supposed to be that each country is supposed to bring their own hero, and like the four major regions are each supposed to have a hero, and then for whatever reason the this country brought all 4 of them themselves. So I don't know if other countries brought their own heroes as well, if these are travelers and they're just like, they don't want to say. I don't know if that's what the deal is, or if they're just like, just random adventurers. Yeah. Yeah, if they're just like homemade, like locals. They're just like really pushing for the locals to level up and get good. Because they need to be defended too. Because there are other waves. I don't know. As they move away from some of the big main conflict of the show, I can like the show a little bit more, but then they can't stay away from just references to the raccoon girl being in love with the shield hero, and I'm like, that is Stockholm Syndrome. This is a bummer. What if that wasn't part of the show? Also, Crunchyroll bought some classics like Black Heaven, Cat's Eye, and Orange Road. Yes, Orange Road. Yeah, I talked about that a bit earlier, a couple weeks ago when that got added. Um, they also added a pretty old isekai that I want to check out that I can't remember the name of, but it's like a very early uh, incarnation of that kind of series. I'm going to look that up. Summer anime lineup is there. Try to find that news story. I don't know where it is, but yeah, they added some. They added some shows that are kind of interesting to their catalog. I can't find it, but yeah, it's occasionally kind of cool to look at that stuff and see what they've got going on. There's yeah, they've been adding dubs here on occasion. I think they got Steins Gate back, which is cool, as part of the ongoing weird relationship after the Funimation breakup. I watched a bootleg Chinatown DVD set of Orange Road back in the day, pumped for rewatch. My town is also trying to convince the locals to level up, says Ken. Yeah, hell yeah. They took out the Saint Seiya, only won a few episodes. Yeah, I mean, it's all that thing of like, now it's trying to fill in catalogs. It's seeing who has the rights to things. It's a lot of that conversations since basically a service bought Funimation that is owned by Sony, so that's why the deal was, they let the deal expire, which is a shame for consumers because the Funimation Crunchyroll deal was rad. And then you look at like Hulu, and they're like, Hulu has subbed Yu Yu Hakusho, but only like 30 episodes. And you're like, what if you had more? I'd watch that there. I don't really want a Funimation account. I was very happy when it turned out that Crunchyroll was getting the Funimation, or the subtitled rights to Fruits Basket, because for a while there, it only saw ads for that anime on Funimation. Funimation was only putting it out there, so it looked like it was going to be just a Funimation thing, which I was not interested in particularly. I was much more interested in the D19, gotta find that, and watching it subtitled instead of dubbed. Yes, Logan. There is a version of Funimation where there is a Funimation account that is not for pay. Yeah, and there are a show like that which doesn't have HD and is just an archive. You can just watch. It's totally fine. I'm more thinking of like having an account for new stuff and seeing it in HD and seeing it when it releases, like, and not having to wait. Like, but for older shows like that, it's totally doable. Yeah, if I want to go back and watch more of them, I totally can. I do think that I don't like Funimation's player as much as Crunchyroll's. I don't necessarily love Crunchyroll's player to begin with either, but a lot of it is preferences. All right. This over. Let's look at Crunchyroll's summer lineup. Dr. Stone is the big one that people are, which comes out on July 5th. That is the one that Crunchyroll is putting a lot of money into. I've heard I've not watched read the manga, I should say. I've heard very good things about the manga. You know me, I do like a character that looks like he's the villain, or she's the villain, or they're the villain, that is the main character. I do enjoy that when characters just look like, well, that guy probably sucks. I'll give it to the Abandoned Sacred Beasts a shot. That seems like it's going to be a very depressing show. So I don't know about that. More Black Clover, which is great. I'll definitely watch more Black Clover. Let's see. Oh, we're rating here. Boomsy YT is rating with a party too. Thank you and welcome. Hello. I finished New Game, which I thought was a cool show about game development. Kind of bummed when it ended. Indeed. Small party too. Hey, a couple people coming in. That's great. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Urban Buddha, New Game is great. The second season, you have to just be okay with, for a little while, this is my experience, the new characters that get introduced in New Game Season 2, which is New Game, 2 exclamation points, aren't as great. The new characters that come in, I don't love, because I feel like it takes away from the other characters that I really like, but they grew on me. Also, Crunchyroll doesn't have the OVA, which I think you can find on YouTube. At least I watched it on YouTube a while ago. And I would recommend watching the OVA. It's kind of meaningless. It's just like an extra episode in between. But Crunchyroll doesn't have that. And it's just like they go skiing. And it's kind of fun. There's a couple very good gags in it. But it's not like... It's not like 100% necessary. Oops, I picked up the wrong piece. I don't need that. I grabbed the wrong piece. How are you liking the GM Guncannon? I'm liking it. This is a 2001 kit. And kits from that era are still, like not all of them, but some of them are pretty sturdy. This feels pretty solid. It's a fairly simple build. There are a couple things where I'm like, I don't know what, my biggest issue, as always with kits of this era, is the instructions are sometimes like, I'm like, what are you trying to tell me right now, instructions? But yeah, overall, it's been a pleasant little kit. Or says cool, we'll look into it, yeah. But yeah, I'm just kind of looking at some of the stuff coming out. I mean, they haven't really announced anything. Are You Lost seems pretty cool. That's coming out this summer. It's some girls stranded on a desert island, trying to figure things out. It's a comedy. I believe it's a 15-minute show. And then Magical Senpai, I don't think I'm going to watch. That doesn't seem like it's going to be good. I may have picked it up. We specialize on Gunpla Network on older vintage kits. Any pre-2005 kit is 50/50. Yeah, I mean, like, some of them I think are nice. I did the Guncannon detector pretty recently, and that kit went together really nice, and it's a really solid kit. That was a fun build. This one, like I said, like there's arrows and shading here, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll figure this out. There's a photo that kind of tells me what it should look like, but and sometimes when you're building, like, I always say this, a Gundam Wing kit, I could probably build with my eyes closed. I know how those are supposed to look. Sometimes I build a kit that I'm like, I know what the Guncannon is, but like, it's not like I spent 100 episodes with it, or I watched it move around every step of the way. Like, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what this is supposed to do. Not always as familiar. think I get what they're trying to do here, but you know, this is a pretty unique way to build the body. It's like we're building like because there's the core fighter, which is I said this I think at the top of the stream. Uh, I love oh, it bends. That's why it bends. That's why this is rubber. That's so fucking weird. Okay. Um, I love a core fighter. I love a like. Great to see another Gunpla streamer. Thank you very much, Boomsy. Yeah. I do Gundam and lots of Gunpla stuff. Lego. Dragon Ball figurized kits. Bunch of stuff like that. Thanks for coming in. Um, Blight Me is now following. Thank you, Blight Me. Um, appreciate that very much. And hmm. And thank you for the follow. Appreciate it very much. What was I going to try to say? Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what it means. It means that it has like a bend to it. That's odd. Okay, I could figure this out. um, yeah, like sometimes these kits, I'm like, this isn't a thing I'm super familiar with, so it's kind of like occasionally it's a little trial and error, where we're like, okay, I think I know what this wants me to do, but you know, just figure it out. I don't claim to be an expert. Never said I was. I just do this a lot and enjoy it. So, all right. So I think that's in. Okay. Nope. Hopefully, when we attach this all together, it'll do what it's supposed to do. But this is a weird little bit of business. Surfing Ninja is now following. Thank you, Surfing Ninja. Great name. Still finishing up the RG full armor Unicron myself. I don't know what to do next. Ooh, yeah. Too many options. You're totally right. There are a lot of options out there, Blight Me. Surfing Ninja says, I have a HCRX 782 sitting down watching the stream. Nice. Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff out there. I haven't done a real grade in a while. I have found those to be frustrating on stream. The 144 scale in general I like, but it tends to be very small pieces, and those are tough for me. I'm still not like super comfortable with being able to hold the conversation, read chat, and build those all at once. It's a thing that I'm still struggling with, so the real grades can sometimes be tricky. They're fun to build, but not necessarily on stream. All right, I think I got that one done. I'll try the other one here. Maybe I'll do it the other way. That could be it. Oh yeah, I've got a few things in my backlog. I'm excited to build, and a few things coming off my wish list. I think are coming soon that I'm very excited to start up. The thing that I've built after this is one of my next kits. I believe the next one we'll build, we'll see, is going to be Bulma's motorcycle. It is a transforming motorcycle from the Figure Eyes line, and it's an awesome kit. And then also I get a Bulma figure, and that's fun. Alright, let's get this going. Alright, there we go. Alright, these seem to be fitting in now. I think I'm starting to get the hang of how this thing wants me to do. The thing is cool. She just come with some additional legs for other modes. Yes, I thought that was great. That she's got like the legs for riding the motorcycle and then the legs for when it's like a weird bipedal thing. I thought that was a cool touch. Oh yeah, the etched metal parts. Yeah, that's a really cool looking kit. That version Ka. All right, these things are very annoying. And then I'm looking at them like, are these noticeable at all in this kit? Maybe they are, but I don't know if they are. Shove it up in there. Just. I feel like this is like the step of the kit where people are like, oh, and then you have to do this thing, and it's weird. I always feel like that's because I don't watch a lot of like YouTube reviews of model kits. I occasionally do if it's a kit that I'm like, I don't know how to say the name of this. Any prep Baer, I'm off for the night. Hope to catch one of your future streams later on. Well, thanks for coming in, Boobsy. Nice having you here. Is it normal for the two saber handle pieces to not want to stick together? On occasion, you'll find that. And Isabella says, thank you for the stream, Pat. I've got to go to bed so I can get ready for another day at the Video Game Factory. Have a good night. Isabella, thanks for coming in. Thanks for everybody who's popped in here. We're going to go for a few more minutes tonight, but my normal build streams are 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. My next stream is actually on Wednesday, but it is a game stream, my kind of like weekly gaming stream. I try to do weekly. Doesn't always work out. But yeah, I am doing a game stream this Wednesday, doing some Twitch things. But my next build stream will be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So come back if you can. But yeah, we're going to build for a little while. I might just give up on these weird little pieces and come back to them off stream because they're being weird. Got a 5 a.m. rise, but says they're Buddha night, Pat, and chat. Always a great time hanging out. Great to have you here, Buddha. It's been a little bit. Happy to have you in the stream. All right, let's keep working on this chest. I mean, legitimately, we have done a lot. We started, an hour and 50 minutes ago, and we have done arms and legs, and we're getting pretty good on the chest. Master grades always take some time, but. The weapons will be a lot. We will spend a whole stream on the weapons because they are big and bulky, and the backpack and all that. Like, that's key elements of this kit. I feel like that's where they put the time and effort into it, which makes sense. And then we need the front one here. I'll pick my next build. I can't do it. I'm just staring like an idiot. Yeah, I mean, if you want to list a few kits that you have that you're thinking of, people in the chat can kind of tell you what they think you should go with. That sounds fun. It is tough. Sometimes, like, you're just like, especially, like, so occasionally, like, I don't know if I want to build that right now, or I've built a lot of 1/100s, so maybe I should do that. So I understand it's tough. I do believe I have it set that you can't send links if you are even if you're following, if you're not a subscriber. So I apologize for that. I think I don't have a lot of mod stuff set up because I'm still very small, but the GM79, I remember really liking that kit. I'm gonna do a quick search there. Remember, yeah. I mean, look, I think it just parts of the GM79 aren't super like this is a weird term. Like, it's standard, right? I think it looks cool. Like, it has very little color to it. The gym because it was like the first mass-produced mobile suit. So, like, it's not supposed to be sexy, but I do think that, like, it's a good, solid kit and nice to have if, like, you've built a lot of stuff. I mean, there's obviously variations of it, but, like, it's a solid kit. Yeah, like, the idea was it was their first, like, this is what mobile suits are, not like the Gundam, which is we built this thing. So it has, it is meant to be Like, yeah, like a mass-produced unit. So, yeah, so it's not like flashy. That's a word I was trying to think of earlier. Uh, yeah, it's not necessarily a flashy kit, but it's a cool one. Um, yeah, and I occasionally I will look up reviews, and I think that like it's nice that we live in a time where you don't have to go to message boards to find out about kits. Like there are YouTube videos, and you can do some of the research yourself, and then also like people will be like, this is a very bad kit, or this kit rules, or hey, it's this thing, but like that. Like it's nice that there are a lot of options out there to do the research. All Gundams are mobile suits, but not all mobile suits are Gundams, says Surfing Ninja, which is very true. I often try to make sure I'm not calling something that isn't a Gundam a Gundam. Uh, you know, and sometimes there are series where the non-Gundam suits are awesome and are very cool. And then there are other shows that it's just a excuse for having really cool looking Gundams. All right, I'm having some trouble getting these popped in, these accents here. The power difference seems like magical. Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like the Gundams are the big cool ones. Like in Gundam Wing, they always talk about how like the tall geese isn't necessarily like the tall geese is the only thing that can stand up to them, and that's mostly due to the pilot. Not that it's like it was the best cool custom of that generation of mobile suits, that old mobile suit design, but it's mostly just like barely holds up, which is why they had to build the Epion, which is basically a Gundam. But yeah, a lot of that's pilot based because they were like, oh, this doesn't work for everybody. All right, then we're going to slide this in here. I think we'll find what we need to find here. Just line everything up. All right, great. Pops through. Yep, okay. Yeah, I mean, I like those shows like Gundam X, which nobody talks about because it wasn't popular anyway in Japan at all. That there were so few Gundams that when a Gundam showed up, people freaked out because they were like, holy shit. Because it was after Colony. All right, I got the little weird parts that I thought were going to be weird. We got to working. We'll do a little bit more, and then we'll probably call it stream. We'll do one more section here of our cockpit. And then we'll call the stream a stream because, as I have been often said, once we start hitting 2 hours, I start getting a little worried that I am not going to do a great job of building a model kit, and I don't want to fuck up my kits. But yeah, I'll be back with my next build stream will be on Thursday, which will be Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. But my next stream, it will be a non-build stream, will be this coming Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be going to Twitch Sings from 6 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. And you're more than welcome to come hang out with that. It'll be fun to have you. Do something a little different. And I gotta go check out some songs that I haven't seen. Maybe record a few duets. Have some fun. Have a good time. But yeah, I'm gonna take off after I finish applying this piece here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me here at the Build with Baer workshop. As always, it is my utmost pleasure to have you here hanging out. Thanks for everybody that chatted. Thanks for everybody that watched. Tell your friends. Follow me if you haven't already. Consider becoming a subscriber. Would love to get back over 40 subscribers. That'd be nice because it's great when the numbers go up. But thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you to my regulars and to new folks that came in off the raid, folks that came in on the raid that happened on Saturday. That's just nice to see. Thanks so much and have a great rest of your Monday or maybe a good Tuesday. Thank you very much and good night. Bye.